Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive? We're here to cut through the noise and really get to the heart of what's been happening in golf.
Absolutely. We've been digging through a whole stack of global reports covering, let's see, August 25th to the 31st, 2025.
Yeah, quite a week. We've looked at articles, researched, done our own digging, and, well, our mission, as always, is to pull out the really essential stuff for you, our listener.
That's right. And it's not just about listing facts, is it? We want to connect the dots, understand the why behind the headlines, give you a clear, informed picture of, well, a pretty dynamic week in golf.
You can say that again. Victories, big business deals, player news, those ongoing debates.
Exactly. We'll cover the wins, the money side, the player movements, including injuries, unfortunately, and touch on the controversies shaping the game.
Okay, so we'll kick off with the tournament winners, then look at the business side, some major broadcast news there, then player updates, the big debates, and a look ahead, especially towards the Ryder Cup.
Sounds like a plan. Let's get into it.
The week's triumphs and surprises.
All right, first up, LPGA Tour, the FM Championship at TPC Boston. And wow, what a story here with Miranda Wang.
Oh, absolutely. A sensational breakthrough is, putting it mildly, a 20-year-old from China getting her first LPGA win.
And that third round, 65, -7.
Yeah.
That really set her up, gave her that three-shot cushion going into Sunday.
It did, but she really had to earn it in the final round.
Yeah.
Showed some serious mental strength, had a couple early bogeys, could have wobbled.
Right.
But she held her nerve, finished at 11 under, and managed to beat the world #1, Atthaya Thitikul, by just one shot.
Incredible pressure. And we should probably clarify something here. There was talk of a big showdown with Nelly Korda.
Yeah, that was widely reported beforehand, but it just didn't happen. Korda struggled, wasn't really in the mix. So that head-to-head duel, it was a non-starter. Wang just played her own game brilliantly.
Okay, good clarification. Now let's shift over to LIV Golf. Their team championship was in Michigan at the Cardinal at St. John's in Plymouth, right?
That's the one. Important clarification there, too, actually. Some early reports mistakenly placed it at Trump National Duel, but no, it was St. John's.
Got it. And a different format stroke play qualifier than the team playoffs. Bryson DeChambeau lit it up in the qualifier?
He certainly did. Fired a 62, 8 under par, topped that leaderboard.
Yeah.
Really impressive individual performance.
But the team competition, that was the main event.
Exactly. And it went right down to the wire. Jon Rahm's team, Legion 13th, ended up tied with Crusher's GC at 20 under after 3 rounds.
So a playoff.
Yep. Rahm and Tyrrell Hatton for Legion the 3rd against DeChambeau and Charles Howell the 3rd for the Crushers. And Rahm and Hatton came out on top, sealed the title for Legion 13th. Really showcased that team dynamic under pressure.
Intense stuff. Okay, let's cross the pond to the DP World Tour, a mega European Masters in Switzerland.
A classic venue, Crans-sur-Sierre. And a familiar winner in a way, Thriston Lawrence from South Africa.
Right, he won it before, didn't he?
He did, back in 2022. This time, he closed with a 66 to finish at 22 under. Held off Matt Wallace, Rasmus Højgaard, and Sami Välimäki by 2 strokes.
Winning twice there is pretty special.
It really is. Crans is such a demanding course, with the altitude and tricky greens. It takes a certain kind of game. What's fascinating here isn't just the repeat win, but what it tells us about mastering a specific, unique challenge. It suggests Lawrence really understands the nuances of that place.
Yeah, like he's cracked the code there.
Something like that. And just for accuracy, some reports mentioned 3 past champions in the final group. That wasn't correct. It was just Lawrence among them near the top at the end.
The business of the greens deals, broadcasts, and global reach.
Okay, let's talk about the business side of golf now, because it was a busy week for deals and partnerships too.
Always is, seems like. These things keep the tours running. We saw Brown & Brown confirmed as the title sponsor for the 2025 Irish PGA Championship.
And over on the LPGA, Fortinet extended their sponsorship of the Founders Cup. Plus, the U.S. Virgin Islands came on board as a presenting sponsor for that one.
Yeah, good, solid partnerships. And connecting this to maybe the bigger picture for individual players, look at Colin Morikawa.
What's the news there?
Couple of things. New equipment deal with Stanley 1913. The Thermos people, they're an official tour partner. But maybe more interesting, he hired Mark Urbanek as his caddy.
Okay.
That's his 5th caddy this season.
Wow. 5th.
Yeah. Now, it might seem like a small detail, but it kind of hints at the constant search for an edge, the relentless adjustments even the top guys are making, always looking for that perfect fit, that extra bit of synergy.
Makes sense. Never standing still. Now, probably the biggest news on the business front, these broadcast deals. Huge news.
Absolutely massive. Let's start with the USGA and NBC Universal. They extended their deal right through 2032.
So NBC keeps the U.S. Open, U.S. Women's Open, U.S. Senior Open exclusively.
Correct. And not just NBC, but expanded coverage across USA Network, Golf Channel, and even a new NBC unit called Versant. They're really locking that down.
That's a huge commitment.
It is. But they weren't the only ones making moves. LIV Golf also announced a big multi-year deal, this one with FOX Sports in the U.S.
Okay, so LIV on FOX.
Starting February 2025, yeah. All 14 events live on either FOX or FS1. Over 210 hours of coverage promised. That's significant airtime.
Definitely increases their visibility.
And then almost simultaneously, PGA Tour Studios opens this enormous, 165,000 square foot broadcast facility down in Ponte Vedra Beach.
What's the goal with that?
They're producing something called a world feed, starting with the 2025 Players' Championship. Basically, it lets global media partners customize the broadcast for their own audiences, different commentary, graphics, you name it. It's designed to make the PGA Tour product more accessible and appealing internationally.
So more tailored coverage depending on where you're watching.
Exactly. And just to round it out, Sky Sports in the UK also extended their USGA rights through 2030.
Wow. So all these deals, USGA, LIV, PGA Tour, it really raises a question, doesn't it?
It certainly does. What does all this mean for the global reach, the accessibility, really, for you, the fan, trying to follow professional golf? The battle for eyeballs is clearly heating up.
Player journey shifts, setbacks, and returns.
All right, let's talk players. Some movement within LIV Golf, new signings.
Yeah, a few updates there. Yuvin Zhang, who played on the Korean Tour, signed with Ironhead's GC. Berger Kattrup joined Cleek's GC, and Ben Campbell moved over to Rangecoat's GC.
And we should probably clear up a name. There were reports about a Caleb Lee.
Right. Seems that was inaccurate. These are the confirmed moves. Zhang, Kattrup, and Campbell.
Okay. But the really big player news, I think, involves someone coming back towards the PGA Tour side.
Ah, yes. James Piot. This is pretty significant. He's a former LIV player, and he received a sponsor's exemption play in the 2025 Rocket Mortgage Classic.
And why is that so significant?
Because as far as we know, he's the first former LIV player to get into a regular, non-major PGA Tour event like this. It feels like a tangible shift, maybe a slight thaw in relations, or at least a sign of how players might navigate between tours in the future.
Definitely one to watch. Fascinating.
It is. But player journeys aren't always about new beginnings or returns. There's the tough side too, injuries.
Yeah, unfortunately. We saw Will Zalatoris and Zach Johnson withdraw before the Charles Schwab Challenge even started.
Right. And the Travelers' Championship seemed particularly hard hit. Jordan Spieth pulled out with a neck issue. Siwoo Kim had back problems.
Victor Hovland retired mid-round as well.
He did. And Eric Cole, Corey Connors, Brian Campbell, quite a few withdrawals there. It's a reminder of the grind.
Absolutely. And speaking of injuries, the biggest name, perhaps, Tiger Woods.
Yeah, that news hit hard. A torn left Achilles tendon suffered back in March during training.
Ouch. That required surgery.
Minimally invasive surgery on March 11th, yes. And consequently, he had to miss the Masters.
Just shows the physical toll, doesn't it? Even for someone like Tiger.
It really does. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it's just a stark reminder, isn't it? These athletes push their bodies unbelievably hard, and injuries are, unfortunately, part of the elite game. It affects everything.
True. And one more player note, this one about suspensions.
Yes. Hudson Swafford. He mentioned on the Subpar podcast that he's facing a 5-year PGA Tour suspension.
5 years. So eligible to return in 2027.
According to him, yes. It's rare to get such a specific detail, but it gives us a glimpse into the consequences and the disciplinary framework surrounding player choices in this complex landscape.
The state of the game rankings, debates, and direction.
Okay, let's tackle some of the bigger picture debates. The official World Golf Ranking, OWGR, and LIV Golf. That conversation is still very much alive.
Still ongoing, yes.
Yeah.
LIV resubmitted their application for ranking points back in July 2025. As of the end of August, the latest we heard, it was still under review.
So no second rejection confirmed yet?
Not officially, no. Despite some rumors floating around, just under review.
And this whole situation really puts players in a tough spot, doesn't it? Thinking about Joaquin Niemann specifically.
Yeah, he's become kind of the poster child for this issue, hasn't he? He's won 5 times on Levy in 2025. 5 wins.
Which is incredible form.
Absolutely. But because those wins don't get OWGR points, he's sitting, 103rd in the world? It's
Yeah.
frustrating for him, clearly. He publicly asked officials to, quote, do the right thing for the game and count the LIV events.
And this has real consequences, right?
Yeah.
Beyond just the number next to his name.
Oh, definitely. This raises a critical question, really, for talented players like Niemann. If your best performances aren't reflected in your world ranking, what does that mean for your career? How does it impact getting into the majors, which often rely heavily on OWGR status? It's a huge deal for their legacy, for their opportunities.
Yeah, a really tough situation. Now, beyond rankings, there were other controversies bubbling up, too. The LIV event in Michigan, the venue itself drew some heat.
It did. The Cardinal at St. John's Resort, where it was held, operates as a charitable humanitarian hotel. So critics question the ethics of hosting an event funded by the Saudi PIF there, suggesting it conflicted with the venue's mission.
And the organizer's response.
They countered by saying that proceeds generated from the event would actually go towards supporting local charities. So you had those two opposing viewpoints on the situation.
Okay. And another ongoing debate, the PGA Tour signature events.
Still simmering, yes. Veteran player Robert Garrigus spoke out, criticizing the addition of a 9th signature event that's the 2026 Miami Championship planned for Trump National Duel.
What was his specific criticism?
He argued that the sponsor exemptions for these limited field high-purse events tend to unfairly favor, as he put it, struggling stars, mentioning Jordan Spieth as an example. The implication being it might squeeze out other deserving players lower down the pecking order.
So, access and fairness concerns.
Exactly. And what's fascinating, or perhaps just complicated, is how these debates, the OWGR, the venue ethics, the tour structure, they really highlight the complex mix of ethical, economic, and structural challenges that professional golf is wrestling with right now.
And just to be clear, we're presenting the different viewpoints as reported.
Precisely. We're just laying out the arguments that are out there in the sources, not taking sides.
The future fairway junior growth and the Ryder Cup buzz.
All right, let's shift focus a bit towards the future. And the pipeline looks pretty strong, judging by the activity in junior and amateur golf.
Definitely. Lots going on. We saw events like the AJGA Junior at Hunter Ranch, the AJGA NW Arkansas Junior, the junior players down at TPC Sawgrass.
Plus events in Florida, the Italian International U16s. It's truly global.
It is. And this feeds right into the college game, too. We saw, for instance, Vanderbilt winning the Carmel Cup recently.
So what does this all mean?
Well, it just underscores how vital these junior and amateur pathways are, doesn't it? They're absolutely crucial for nurturing the next wave of talent that eventually populates the pro tours, keeps the game vibrant.
Good point. Okay, looking at the more immediate future on the pro circuits, what's coming up?
DP World Tour heads to England, building up to the BMW PGA Championship. The PGA Tour actually has a quiet week coming up before the Pro Court Championship.
Give some guys a breather, maybe. Especially those with Ryder Cup hopes.
Could be. Guys like Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa, probably using the time to fine-tune things before the big one.
Which is?
The Ryder Cup 2025. The buzz is really starting to build for that. September 26th to 28th, Bethpage Black in New York. It's going to be intense.
And we know the U.S. team now, right? Captained by Keegan Bradley.
We do. The full team is set. Automatic qualifiers.
Yeah.
Scotty Scheffler, J.J. Spahn, Sandra Schofel, Russell Henley, Harris English, and Bryson DeChambeau.
Quite a solid core there.
Definitely. And then the captain's picks. Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa, Ben Griffin, Cameron Young, Patrick Cantlay, and Sam Burns.
Interesting mix of picks. Thomas and Morikawa may be expected, but some others in there too.
Yeah, Bradley clearly had a strategy. And Sky Sports will have live coverage all 3 days, of course.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. That blend of the guys who played their way on consistently and the captain's strategic selections. It just sets the stage for what should be an absolutely electric atmosphere at Bethpage.
Couldn't agree more. It promises to be fantastic viewing. Outro.
So wrapping up this deep dive, what a week it's been. We've seen the emergence of exciting new winners like Miranda Wang.
And some major financial shifts with those broadcast deals and sponsorships. Real money moving around.
We've tracked the personal side, too, player returns like James Piot, but also those tough injuries, especially the news about Tiger.
Yeah, the highs and lows. And then, of course, those ongoing debates about rankings, venues, tour structures. They're not going away anytime soon.
And we definitely tried to clear up some confusion along the way. The correct LIV venue, the Wang Korda non-duel, the actual status of the LIV OWGR application. Accuracy matters.
It does. And if we connect all this to the bigger picture, it just paints a portrait of golf in Well, constant evolution, doesn't it?
Right.
Tradition, clashing and merging with modern business, player welfare, bumping up against global dynamics.
It's as interesting off the course as on it sometimes.
Often, yeah. It's incredibly dynamic right now.
Okay, so for you, our listener, here's something to chew on as we finish up. Think about how all these negotiations, these rivalries between the tours, combine with these massive new broadcast strategies. How might that fundamentally change the way you actually watch and follow professional golf in the next few years?
Right. What kind of golf landscape do you hope emerges from all these fascinating, sometimes messy shifts? And what will it ultimately mean for the future of this game we all follow so closely?
Something to think about. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.
Until next time.